Hey y'all, welcome back to another one of my videos. This again is on, or I say again, this could be the first video you're watching. Maybe I shouldn't say again. Okay, so welcome to another video, because this is another video that I've made, but maybe, oh, I don't know, never mind. Just welcome to my video. For this one, we are going to be looking at Star Trek Bridge Crew, the Tactical Station. Now, the tactical station is a fun station. It is usually, depending on the mission, very active, basically because there's always something to shoot or some reason to protect us or the ship or whatever. But tactical, at the very least, definitely has something to do on pretty much every mission, whether it is blow the nearest enemy ship out of the sky, out of space, yeah, to atomize the nearest enemy ship or dangerous object, or to scan vessels so that people or things can be transported off of it. Plus, scanning anomalies in order to tell if they're dangerous. These are all your jobs. So, wanted to touch here and just talk about some highlights. If you've played the game, or maybe you've been wanting to play the game, but you've just been watching a bunch of YouTube videos, you've probably done the tutorials or watched the tutorials, and you know that the tutorials offer pretty much a generic overview, and maybe you've discovered by now that there's some nuances that the tutorial really doesn't cover. And so I wanted to go through and discuss those little extra things that I have found either from playing or from listening that people just don't know and need to know, because it will greatly help you. Plus, it'll help your crew, A, not to have to tell you, and B, you look more competent, and they're like, when the captain's like, hey, do this, and you're all like, oh, I've already done that, and they're like, oh, you know what you're doing, awesome. Everybody loves that. Makes for a much better experience. So, looking here, first thing I want to say, tactical. Take over system intrusion. The minute you come in, hit that button, don't let anybody else take it. Because, really, it's called tactical system intrusion. Okay, technically it's just called system intrusion, but it should be tactical intrusion. Or tactical system intrusion. Because, look what it says right there. Tactical scan required. Now, granted, I will point out that the transporter also says tactical scan required. But, this one deals with everything that you can do. You can stop their, take down shields, you can kill their engines, you can kill their weapons. This is all tactically you. Now, transporter. I recommend that one for ops over here. And really, I recommend it for ops because ops gets it in every other ship. On the next generation, it's automatically given to ops, and on the TOS ship, it's put at the engineering station. So let ops/engineering have transporter, and you take over this. Unless, the captain, who is the captain and is in charge, unless they direct it specifically to somebody else, take this, because you're going to be able to use this quicker and know when it'll be effective to use the different setups. Apologize for that. Now, if you're watching this, I have been playing this game since about Christmas, for about 3 weeks. It was almost non-stop. And I usually play on Oculus Rift. Actually, it's pretty much the only way I really play the game is through Oculus Rift. But when I was trying to make the videos, they didn't come out right. A lot of head jarring made it just really blurry and annoying. And plus, what you see through the visor and what you see on screen when recording were kind of half differences. So, like, I could think I was looking at the console here and seeing it in full view, but when I looked back at the recordings, like, half of what I was talking about was gone. So, I've elected to do the computer or the desktop version in order to do this recording. So, if you've been sitting back like me, and because I've been watching this game for months before I finally got my Oculus Rift and bought this game and got to play it. I did not realize I could have bought it and played it as a desktop version. I would have done so, but I might have also disappointed myself a little bit too, because the whole VR experience that first time I put it on was amazing. So, and I don't know if it would have been the same had I already been playing. But anyway, the whole experience became whoa. But VR is awesome anyway. So anyway, sorry. So I'm recording in desktop mode just so I can make sure that everything is easily visible. So right off the bat, one of the first, besides the system intrusion thing, one of the things that seems to have to be told to the tactical officer so much is when you first get in, before you start your mission or anything, arm the torpedoes. And as you can see, you see that little yellow line that's forming around the torpedoes there? Try to keep my hand out of the way as I show you this. That takes time to build up. So if you start that process immediately when the game starts and you're at your console, go ahead and start that power up and get those loaded and ready. And basically, when your torpedoes, like when you've got them armed right here, they are increasing what you'll hear people talk about detection range, and they are increasing your detection range. But here's what's cool about the torpedoes. Once they're loaded, they're loaded. So I can disarm them now. My detection range goes down. Okay, yeah, you can't see that here. But my detection range goes down, but these will stay armed. So, like, when I turn them back on, see, they're still armed. So I am ready to fire my first 2 shots when the need arises, and I don't have to wait. Like, when we go into red alert and I need to fire torpedoes, I'm not waiting on the first 2 to load, at any rate. After that, they will have to load again because I fired them, but for the most part, you'll be ready for that initial need to use. Another thing, your maximizer, your zoom in option. Your zoom in option is a little different than it is on the helm. For helm, zooming in, zooming out has minimal effect as far as what you can see. For tactical, it tends to be a much bigger deal because this little yellow line right here, this is your sensor range, and this little arc in here is get down. The little arc right there is your hand down here. Come on, hand. Okay, keep my hands away from the screen. Okay, the littler yellow arc, that is your firing range, and the bigger yellow circle, that is your scan range. So anything in that area you can scan. So like if I pick this, say, oh, plus you get this nice little 3D view. But also if scanning were an option, this would light up for scanning. But I don't think there's anything here that is scannable. So just a bunch of debris. Now, here's what I am going to tell you also. Scan everything. Okay, constantly. Even if you're on a survey mission, you're not doing anything, if there's something here and you click on it and it gives you the ability to scan, go ahead and scan it. If it's not a rush situation, like you're not being threatened and fired upon, they'll have some options right here for like shields, engines, weapons, cargo. Scan everything. If you're not in a hurry, you know, there's no immediate threat. Even if it's an enemy ship away here and you're slowly heading up to it, go ahead and scan everything on it. But understand that scanning everything takes longer than scanning one thing, which they tell you that in your tutorial, but a lot of people don't seem to understand that. Since you're system intrusion, if you want to take off their weapons, which honestly I find that a ship that can't shoot me is easier to deal with than a ship that is shooting me, so it tends to be one of my personal favorites to take down first, but there are reasons to take down other things. But uncheck all the other boxes and make sure just the box is checked for whatever it is you want to scan, and then just scan that, because that'll go a lot faster. And then once you have scanning, you can do whatever you need to. But the beauty part is when you scan anything, then if something wasn't a threat but suddenly becomes a threat, you've already done the scans. But if something was, what am I thinking of? Oh, the minute you've done the scan, also, if it's an anomaly, engineering gets environmental information about the anomaly. The captain gets a lot of information about the anomaly and what kind of effects it'll have. But also, it opens up transporters for whoever's running the transporters. And so, basically, it's just one less thing you have to do. Now, depending on the captain, the playstyle may vary. Sometimes the captain is quick to throw up the red alert when they want battle confrontations, but I've played with a lot of captains who seem to not bother with the red alert, so you don't always get the red alert immediately. So I think it triggers automatically when you do take fire. But as a captain, when I play the captain, I try to actually say red alert and trigger that red alert because I like the story effect and the feel of having that activate. But either way, the minute you get into battle conflict, raise the shields. Shields take about 10 seconds to fully activate, so the sooner you turn them on, the better. I don't know how many battles I've gone into, and see the little blue circle, that's your shields. I don't know how many battles I've gone into where I was doing engineering, and suddenly we take a few hits, and we're attacking back, but I've got repair issues everywhere, and then I look down, and our shields aren't even turned on. So, yeah, remember to turn these on. These are not automatic, unfortunately. I mean, it makes sense that when red alert happens, you kind of feel like everything should engage automatically. I'm pretty sure that if I was in the future and I was logged into a console that could do presets, I would have that pretty much set as a standard. Or heck, if I did the programming for this really advanced starship, I think I would have built that in. Red alert, shields, and weapons. You know, but hey, whatever. But yeah, so remember to turn these on. Another note about the shields. Now, engineering can do a lot, but they can't directly repair the shields or put power to recharging the shields. They can repair shield emitters, but that's about all they can do. Now, there is some argument, disagreement, debate, I guess you could say, about whether what I'm about to say actually has an effect. But I've done some tests on it, and I am convinced that what I'm about to tell you is actually helpful. But like I said, some people may debate with me on that. But whenever your shields go down, like you've taken enough damage, it's going to happen. But you take enough damage that the shields have failed, like they're gone. But this will still show to be on, but there'll be there'll be like 0% shields. Turn off the shields, okay? And then if you count to about 30, I mean, really wait for the engineer. This is the engineer's job, but the engineer will tell you when the shield should be ready to be brought back online. And the deal is once you repair the shield emitters, the system automatically starts building up energy for the shields again. And I have found, in my studying and research, that the shields will actually recharge faster when you turn them off than when you leave them on. Now, if you leave them on, they will reactivate themselves, and suddenly you'll go from 0% and you'll start seeing it build back up to 100%. But I have found that the recharge time is less if you go ahead and turn them off when it hits 0, and then hopefully engineering is doing their job and keeping track, and then they can tell you, okay, turn back on the shields, and when you turn them back on, it'll start activating the activation sequence. 10 seconds later, you'll have your shields. Now, when engineering tells you this, and this is in the engineering video that I'll be posting, or maybe by the time you're watching this have posted, the engineer might tell you to turn on, tell you that the shields are ready. Understand that this is really the engineer's best educated guess, because I found it to be about 30 seconds. Like, if you turn off the shields and let it charge, about 30 seconds after the shields have been turned off, they're ready to turn back on and go. In fact, some cases, some of my studies showed that the time can even be as little as 20 to 25 seconds. I'm not sure what's affecting it. It may be the amount of damage that was taken or whatever, but this is like the shields were turned off after the repairs to the shield emitters were done, turned off the shields, started the counting, and it would vary between 20 and 30 seconds. So whenever I'm playing engineering / ops, I always count to 30, and then tell them they can turn back on the shields. Now, and usually within, if not immediately, within about 5 to 10 seconds, the shields will come on. In reverse, leaving the shields on and waiting for them to recharge, I found that this can take anywhere from about 40 to 50 seconds before the shields actually get back up to full. So, like, you're just waiting, and I've got the shield emitters repaired. Literally, it can take about 40 to 50 seconds from the time that the shield emitters are completely repaired for this to go back to 100%. Now, like I said, if the engineer is off, you're going to be like, well, what was the difference? It was 40 seconds from you. It's 40 seconds this way. I didn't even need to turn them off. But sometimes it's less than 30 seconds. So, and since like I said, I have yet to figure out how to tell when it's going to be one thing or the other, it's better to turn them off. They're not being used anyway. And so it's like, why not go ahead and turn them off? Plus, if you turn them off, engineering is probably going to do it anyway. They're going to run power from shields and put it into, say, weapons. So, or somewhere else. I don't know. It just depends on where they need to put power to. But overall, just, mostly get them on before or shortly after you take fire. As soon as you know that the enemy ship is firing or attacking, get those shields on. Arm the torpedoes from the very beginning. And take over the system intrusion. Those are the 3 things that I know of. Oh, and watch your scans. Don't scan everything if we're in a hurry to get just a few things, especially during the Borg missions. In the Borg missions, we're only looking for specific things a lot of time. So, only scan for that one thing, just, to speed up the process. But those are the things. If you know something I've missed that as a tactical officer is useful that I failed to realize or mention, please put it in the comments. I like to learn new stuff too. So so if you come up with something that I didn't know, hey, I learned something too. So, or if I've said something that you don't agree with, again, in the comments, let me know why. So, anyway, I hope, though, for the most part, this tutorial video has been useful to you, and enjoy your trek. Bye. No, really. Bye. Oh, you still here? Let's check out my other video. I don't know. What do you say at the end of a video? I'm still working on that. Oh, wait. I got it. Jermetheus Games. No, wait. That's all right. Out. Jermetheus Games out. I don't know. Anyway,